Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Tempe, Arizona, Los Angeles, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, Cincinnati, Lexington, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets. Don't go anywhere else. So, tone deaf, knucklehead. I would say worse words, but they demonetize me if I say bad things about Kamala Harris on YouTube. I'm not kidding.
Don't say dunderhead.
The Vice. She tweeted this out. This is real. On October 5th, what's today's date, the 7th? She tweeted this out for real.
Well, Jimmy, in fairness, she has literally no idea what's going on anywhere.
Right. And there's a lot of people who speculate that she's on some kind of pharmaceuticals. Constantly. Some people have said that it looks like she's on Xanax. That's what some people have said.
Well, she needs to be on speed because she's not.
I know she should be on. She should take a different one. But
listen, radio transmission earrings. You could have all the great covert earrings in the world, but if you're on too much Xanax, you're not. It's not going to do any good.
And can you bring me the cream? Yeah. For that. The people of Lebanon are facing an increasing dire humanitarian situation. I am concerned about the security and well-being of civilians suffering in Lebanon and will continue working to help meet the needs of all civilians there. Can you imagine being this tone deaf while there are people screaming in a third of the country in the United States after a hurricane and that FEMA is nowhere to be found? She's tweeting about how she's concerned about people in another country. And
not concerned enough to make Israel not blow them up, by the way, but concerned enough to not help you.
So here's
yeah.
She's funding the destruction of the people in Lebanon, but now she's also going to fund the relief effort. She says to that end, the United States will provide nearly $157 million in additional assistance. How much money did they give to Lahaina?
Lahaina.
There still hasn't been one house rebuilt in Lahaina.
Every city is going to be Lahaina'd in America.
That's right.
People figure out that the government is not they don't care about you. I mean, how many times can I tell you they're just not that into they're like your book?
That's my book. Your country's just not that into you. So here she goes on. They're going to give $157 million in assistance, additional assistance, on top of the assistance they've already given them. People in Lebanon for essential needs such as food, shelter, water, protection, and sanitation to help those who have been displaced by the recent conflict. This additional support brings the total that they've given Lebanon to $385 million. We have people living under every bridge in this country. We have people in Lahaina, not one house rebuilt. We have people wiped out in North Carolina. What do you want to say, Kurt?
You think the government would take some of that money from the fentanyl that they smuggle in to kill people and spend a little bit on the rest of us that aren't on fentanyl, wouldn't you? Nah.
Here's what Brianna Joy Gray said. She says Americans are funding both the destruction of and the humanitarian aid to Lebanon.
Remember when Steve-O on Jackass stapled his scrotum to his leg?
Yes.
And it was funny because it's like, you're doing this to yourself.
Yes.
That's what this is. We're Steve-O stapling our dick to our leg.
By the way, look at the ratio, Kurt. She had 16,000 likes to 54,000. That has got to be the most impressive ratio I've ever seen. I can't
understand.
Go ahead.
This last year, all the Democrats were talking about what a terrible candidate she is.
Yep.
All of them were talking about how no one wants to work for her because she sucks. And what a ridiculous. And they just can't get rid of her because she's black. I mean, she's not even black. That's all they talked about. And then like this, like if I was hypnotizing you and I go, when I snap my fingers, you're going to pretend Kamala, it's about time she's the president. And they all stepped in line and did it. And I still don't believe those numbers. Like this was the numbers the whole time. This ratio. This is
her true popularity.
Yeah. I don't believe that half the people are paid. We know that. Well, the white dudes for Harris are not, believe it or not, we're getting paid to pay for Harris. This is the real numbers.
30 million views. She got 16,000 likes. 30 million views.
Yeah.
If I get 16,000 likes, I get it off like 50,000 views. She got it off of 30 million views.
Well,
16,000 people liked it.
Everyone hates.
What's that?
I've been ratioed like that for jokes nobody liked, but I'm not running for office.
54,000 to 16.
That's how I know not that many people are into her. Most people have jobs being into her.
And yes,
it's industry plant. The kids call
and you know why? It's because she pissed off. She managed to do something that pissed off people on the left. People like Brianna Joy Gray, she's voting green. She's far leftist. She's a leftist. I wouldn't say far. She would, because I would consider her anyway.
She Trump voter,
but she also pissed off Trumpers. And people like Scott Ritter. Scott Ritter says Israel is murdering Lebanese civilians using American bombs dropped from American planes. You are literally too stupid to be commander-in-chief. He got 29,000 likes on just 400,000 views.
Yeah.
He got twice as many likes as Kamala got with barely a fraction of the views.
Well, this is why Hillary wants us to suppress this stuff finally.
Now here's Jake Shields. So now it's the left. Here's the right. Jake Shields says we send billions to Israel to bomb Lebanon, then millions to Lebanon to rebuild. How does this make sense? He got 54,000 likes.
Well, it's a valid question. I would like to know how that makes sense. Because fuck you, that's why.
Well, that's right. That's right. Exact. Because fuck you. Juanita Broderick, you are a tone deaf moron. Now you say this? Really? She got 26,000 likes off of less than 500,000 views.
She's like, that's the least presidential thing I've ever witnessed, and you know what happened with me and Bill Clinton.
Yep. James Lee says, so let me get this straight. We are arming Israel, who is bombing Lebanon, and then we are turning around and giving aid to Lebanon, who is being bombed by Israel. What kind of racket is this?
I mean, I think it's how our economy works generally, though. Pretty sure.
That's your government. That's the people, and the people are proud. I can't believe there's anybody proud to say they're voting. My asshole ex-comedy friends in Hollywood, all those fucking shit-lib morons.
Well,
they have the banner. I know some of them have their banner on Twitter of Kamala Harris. It used to be Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Now it's Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. They're funding a genocide. And you somehow want to pat yourself on the back that you're some kind of lefty? You're a moron.
Wait, meanwhile, they got a whole cart in the back full of old COVID masks and BLM signs that they've been waiting for the city to take away.
Yes. The people who told you those are the people who told you to don't do your own research during COVID, as you were being lied to on an astronomical scale about all things COVID. Those are the same people. Those are the same people who have their banner on their Twitter page, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Those are the same people. The biggest fucker. There's a guy who does a podcast called The Smartest Guy in the World. He's the dumbest guy in the world.
Wait, it's called what? The Smartest Guy in the Room?
The Greg Proops podcast.
Greg Proops podcast is not called The Most Bisexual Guy in the Room. It's called The Smartest. Okay.
I used to like that guy. He lost his mind. He used to make me laugh. They all lost their mind.
Drew Carey?
They all lost their not on that show. But
if your entire identity
in real
is your
life,
career,
in real life,
your career is your whole thing, your career, achievements of your career, which is everybody that I know for the last 20 years, that's what kind of a hollowed out non-player character you are. If you care about what you used to say, craven careerist. All these people are craven careerists. And it's beyond all reason. Like, after they get screwed over by the system, they'll get back into the dragon mouth, as Patrice used to call it. They get shit out, and then they get back in the mouth of the beast to be chewed up again. It's actually a great.
I mean, those are the types of people. They actually do, as they repeat lies from Big Pharma, as they repeat lies from the military-industrial complex about Ukraine and Syria, and now this.
Yeah, it's almost like psychotronic warfare was used on them, and they're under mind control.
Yes,
that is a real thing.
And they think they're smarter than you. They're smug morons.
Like it's one thing to Disney was always propaganda. Everything was propaganda the whole time. It didn't just become woke. When it wasn't woke, it was also garbage propaganda that made you into a North Korean. It's all garbage. Every last part of it has been garbage the whole time. And if you still think it's about that, you're like not seeing it. But if you see it, you can't unsee it. I'll tell you that.
There's, I mean, I used to really like those people, my comedy friends in Hollywood. I used to really enjoy their company. They all lost their mind. They became the dumbest version of themselves they possibly could.
Look, theater kids are weak. Have we not gone to high school in this?
Yeah,
theater kids. Like, imagine these, and like that's why a lot of great actors are the dumbest. Like De Niro, perfect example.
They're so afraid to question authority. They're comedians who are afraid to question authority. Oh no, the authority that I subscribe to is right and good, and I should never. They don't question. They're going along with this. Yeah, well, why do you think they get passed around to Diddy parties and shit? How do you think that works? If you're a whore, naturally you're gonna act like a whore. I mean, I can't get.
Whores. Your friends are whores. Show business for whores.
It's just I can't. I don't know if I don't know. It's gonna take a while for me to get over it. Like how dumb these people can be.
I consider myself a high class call girl. You know, even though I've been out on the street a little bit, I'm a little rough looking, but Tim Duncan liked it. So.
Wall Street Silver says, do you really think anyone cares about aid to Lebanon right now? North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida should be your only priority. He got 23,000 likes on less than 500,000 views. Colin Rugg says, you are purposely spitting in the faces of Americans in North Carolina. You're going to lose so badly in a month.
Interesting strategy, Cotton. Let's see where... That's all I can think of is the dodgeball meme. What is the strategy
Kurt, do you run into people? Do you run into comedians? You have to.
Yeah.
Run in comedians who are proud to be Kamala Harris supporters. Do you run into them?
Okay, proud. I don't think you would actually be probably playing a comedy club. Proud, but definitely voters for Kamala, and they're all what you would call back in the day when you were liberal, low information voters. But somehow the hillbillies and the cosmopolitans have utterly switched places, and the only reason why is the people that have to feel reality can tell you what reality is. All these people, they live in an alternate universe that is based on like just nonsense. They have some conscious idea how bad it could be. Like they're aware how bad it is, but they don't want to go there. You understand? Like a kid in a Mengele cage. I love you not. They know they don't want to be in there. I love you not cage. And that's all it is. And it's that weak. And they've never, I just thought like if you have a certain level of intelligence, you know, I was like, oh, I'm going to be in showbiz. I had those ideas. And then at a certain age, don't you kind of see how it works? And you're like, all right, is that what I really want? Yeah, no, they want the most, I don't know, what age they got molested dreams, they want that. That's how I'd put it.
Hey, mortgage rates are dropping and now they're in the 4s. If you've been waiting to figure out how to get your finances in order, you need to call our friends at American Finance today. A lot of us are carrying really high credit card balances that charge us 20% or more each and every month. It's time to get rid of those. American Financing salary-based mortgage consultants are helping homeowners just like you tap into their home equity to get out of high-interest debt. They're saving the average customer $800 a month monthly. That's right. And with rates dropping, the decision's super easy. All it takes is a 10-minute, no-cost, no-obligation phone call to find out how much you can save. And if you start today, you may be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. Call American Financing at 888-804-0303. That's 888-804-0303. Or visit AmericanFinancing.net/Jimmy. Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Tempe, Arizona, Los Angeles, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, Cincinnati, Lexington, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets. Don't go anywhere else.